Hey guys, welcome to SkippyTube channel. Today I want to explain about the public voltage and very simple. I'll tell you what does it mean with the public voltage and usually how to can fix this issue. The first I want to tell you if I bring this power supply and this camera is very bad. Sorry about this. Okay. That's before I told you, when you connect the DC power supply cable to the phone, need be showing the 0. After press the power button, this display calculate the current, how much using, and you can find the troubleshooting with this current. But normal, when you connect it like this, so that is just only connected together. Now when it's connected, you see that's showing the 0. Need be showing the 0. This is the normal phones. But if you press the power button, you see current start to calculate the current. You see small and come start to turning on. But before press the power button, need be showing the 0. But you see that this one, I connected, and before press the power button, showing the leaking around the 600 milliamps. That means this one have a large leaking current. This is the abnormal phones. Usually can be find the issue by voltage injection. That's on the video voltage injection. I'll tell you how to fix this issue. Just today I want to explain about the public voltage. Just have two different normal and abnormal phone. I want to show you the normal and abnormal phones. Okay, that's it. Now you know normal and abnormal phone. This is the public voltage. If it's something happen, that's the DC power supply showing the like this leaking before the press the power button, and need be find and fix the phone because this is the issue is abnormal. The all phone is same. Now I want to explain about this phone, for example. The battery connector suppose this is the battery connector. That's one side is ground, one side is positive side. This is the battery, and suppose battery voltage is 4 volts. When battery connected to battery connector or DC power supply connected to here and set up the voltage on the DC power supply is set up the 4 volts voltage on the DC power supply. That means 4 volts need becomes to inside the motherboard. And on the motherboard have a few test point like this. Just give me 1 second. Yes, this is correct. You see around the battery connector have a this is called this circle in there. This is the test point. I show you how to find the test the voltage. You can check in here. You find the 4 volts voltage or not. This 4 volts voltage is coming here. You know that voltage come to inside the motherboard. Now we have a two type public voltage. I tell you, the first one voltage directly comes to the PMU, and PMU only deliver the one voltage to power key. This is the power key. This power key have a different voltage, but around the power management unit is have a lot capacitors, inductors, and resistors. Need be find the 4 volts voltage in here, okay? And need be check the, for example, in here is have a 3.8 volts voltage for power key. Okay, that is simple about the public voltage, but this is the old or normal phones like this. Battery voltage directly come to power management unit. But smartphones or new phones like this one, that is not directly come to power management unit. That is the main voltage, we said V battery. But on the smartphone, this battery voltage comes to the charge IC and change the form, and output voltage is have a different name. Comes, for example, we said VBAT or VCC or VDD main or VPH, just have a different name and different circuit, but it's the same. That side is V battery. But why we said is the public voltage for this circuit? Before the press the power button, only this part have a voltage, and after press the power button, CPU start to booting and processing and turning on the parts. But before press the power button, if your battery connected, that is the standby voltage. Phone is wait for you press the power button. But I want to tell you why we said the public voltage, because from the this is have a main voltage, but charge IC divide this public voltage to two sides. The first we said V battery, other side we said V bat, VCC. On the any phones is different circuit board. We don't explain about that one, just only I tell you about the public voltage. The first is from in there that some parts on the phone need a 4 volts voltage for running. This voltage, for example, comes to the PA or power ampli for network. That's need a 4 volts voltage. Voltage is come to inside the IC, but standby is not turned on the phone. When is press the power button, the CPU or chipset start to processing and turning on the phone for checking the phone or for turning on. That's voltage after processing, this part is turning on. But before press the power button, just only voltage in there. Like your home, voltage comes to your home, but home power meter, it doesn't work because you doesn't use any home appliances or light. When you turn on the light, this home power meter start to calculate your current, and after that send the bill by use the current. Okay, this is like that. This voltage is come to your home, but before press the power button, this voltage comes to your home. It doesn't use the voltage. Use the voltage. Then it's turn on the TV, turn on the fridge, or turn on something on home is lights. That's home power meter start to calculate your current, and for after calculate is after months or 2 months is send the bill to you. That's it. That's I want to tell you about this one. From this again is from the first main side main voltage delivered to the other IC like the SP care ampli. From that side is the second side comes to the backlight. That's suppose that's like this. The from it comes to the Wi-Fi IC. Okay, but is not turned on. This voltage comes to inside the IC, but is not turned on. All is wait for press the power button. The CPU start to turn on the all parts. That's we said to this circuit board. We say this type is public voltage. There's a voltage, main voltage in there, and deliver it to some IC and in there. But important parts for start to troubleshooting or start to find the issue need to find the 4 volts around the battery connector and around the charge IC and power management and also power key. That's the 5 important part to checking. battery connector, charge IC, PMU, and power key. That's it. But how to know this circuit, because you don't have any idea about this one. This is very important, need to know. This circuit board have a one-way voltage, battery voltage directly comes to power management unit, or that's IC charge IC in there, and divide the main voltage to two sides. Just for that one, I tell you in there. Here. This phone, I want to check this like that one is have a voltage in there or not. We don't need to check the, for example, Wi-Fi voltage, because if it's Wi-Fi voltage is have an issue or PA have an issue, there's a first is showing on the DC power supply showing the leaking, small, large, or short circuit, but it doesn't showing the current. Need to check first these 5 important parts. Is have a voltage in there or not. Yes. Now bring the voltage, 4 volts voltage, to this phone. I've set up the multimeter on the DC voltage, and I told you this, you see, is have a circuit, golden circuit in there for test point. The first I checking is have a 4 volts voltage inside the phone or not. You see for 1 volt voltage in here. This is the best and safely voltage by DC power supply. Need be set up the voltage around the 4 to 4.2. That's it. Lower than 3.7 phone is not turned on. More than is 4.5 voltage damage the mainboard. All the time checking before to connect the cable to the phone motherboard, need to check your voltage between the 4 to 4.2. 4.2. If it's low or high, damage the mainboard or phone is not turned on. That's, you see, that's the 4 volts in here. Now we know this voltage is comes to power management unit. I check is have a 4 volts again in here or not. You see, its voltage is come to here. Now we know this voltage in, we have the voltage in that. That means this voltage comes to the power management unit. And if you want to check the power key, again, we check power key have a voltage or not. We check 3.9 volt voltage on the power key. That means all test is okay. But this is very important to know. This mainboard have a one-way voltage or have a two-side main voltage. That is very easy and simple, just to tell you. I bring in a multimeter on the buzzer test, continuity buzzer. Put the one cable on the positive side, this one, and we find the 4 volts voltage in the charge on the PMU power management unit. If it's hear the beep, that means this mainboard have a one-way voltage from here directly comes to the power management unit. But if it's some phone which you check it, that means before it's checked this phone. I know this capacitor, before checking this capacitor showing the 4 volts voltage before press the power button. I put in there, and you see when you put on the positive side, it doesn't hear the beep. That means this phone, very simple, have a two-side main voltage and need to find the charge IC, because charge IC divide the main voltage to two sides. And why need to know this have a two side or one side? Because if it's suppose bring the 4 volts voltage to this mainboard, but around the PM power management unit you find the 3.5 volts. Usually need, if his batteries have a 4 volts, need to find the 4 volts in here, but load this voltage lower than battery voltage. That means you have an issue on the power charge IC. Need be checked properly on the charge IC. Something happened or leaking affected to the VBAT or VCC main, because low voltage comes to here. This is very simple troubleshooting about the public voltage. And if it have a leaking, that means it be use the voltage injection. This is all about the public voltage. I hope this video helped you. Thank you for watching and see you next video.